gonna be icebreaker session. Icebreaker session. Can you confirm if anybody can hear me so that it looks as if I'm speaking to AI? Because I read something recently, and that's about AI taking a lot of things when it comes to automation and the like. So please, can you confirm if you can hear me so I'm not talking to AI? Just an emoji to show you can hear me. Yeah, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, Daniel. Thank you, Malik. And thank you, everyone. Yeah, awesome. Awesome. So, icebreaker session. Now, this is a session which, of course, it's an interesting session. The goal of this session is to make us brainstorm. We want to think like as a data analyst, as a data engineer, as a data professional. We want to think. So, and it's going to right? And let's see if I can present my screen. Yeah. So a few seconds. Yeah. So yeah, I have some. If you can see my screen, can you please confirm? Yeah. Oh my God. So now we have the first one. Now we want to perform some basic mental ability as a data professional. So we have a client send you a CSV file where you notice that the name is written as Adam Smith, like this, as in, and then we have Jane Doe, and then we have Bob William. As a data professional, what is the first function you use to make them look professional? Yeah, let's see who is going to have the answer. Yeah, let's go. So that's the icebreaker session. Comment. Can we have answers on the comment section to show that we're actually following? Or you can't seem to see the question. Proper. Okay, that's one. We have a few seconds for that, so the time is going almost up. We clean data. Yeah, we know we're going to clean data. Okay. Someone said we clean data. Okay. We have two answers, just two. We can do better. Yeah. So I want to confirm if you can see it. This is a question, okay? And yeah. So we have the question. This is the question. Just two responses so far. Oh my God. Wow. 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 Okay, so moving on, let's just move on to the next one. We're going to tell us our answer as we move on. So let's move on to the next one. This is the next one. That's the second question. Now the second question says you're trying to match two tables by email address. You have email address as something you want to use to match the table together. But even though John's email.com looks exactly as the same in both, the computer says they don't match. So what is something going on here? What is actually going on by email? You know, just the way we have ID, that you can make something with using ID. So now I want to use the email. So, and then the computer is trying to tell you that you cannot do that. So what do you think is actually going on with this scenario as a data professional? Yeah, we have answers. So let's hear from us. No response yet. Let me check the comment section. Okay. We don't have any response yet. Wow. Okay, so it means nobody was able to give us. Oh, you didn't see the question. Okay, someone said okay. The question again. This is a question again. Let me just put it in this way. This is a question again. All right. So can we see the question now? Okay, different data type. Awesome. 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 Wonderful. Awesome. Just one question. Just one response. Okay, let's move on because of time. We don't want to waste time on this. So we have the last one. Okay, someone said different data type. Okay, we have the last one, which is this. Now you have a column. You have a column of prices, but some are written as $100 and some as 100 USD, right? And some just 100. You want to try to sum the money, all the money together. Now, it gives you an error. What will you do as a data professional? What will you do as a data professional? Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, this is interesting. Let's see what we've got. Data analysis is not just about the formula. Data from normalization. Okay. Oh, can I say I'm just saying that for the first time? What do you mean by data from normalization? Okay. You place the USD with dollar. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Awesome. I like that. Okay. Data normalization. Yeah, Oluwa Dotun. Okay. I think you might want to make all of them uniform. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. Awesome. Filter for 100 USD and 100 convert. Okay, that's awesome. Yeah, we're going to give the responses to all of these things, right, as we progress. So let's be hopeful because it's going to be something amazing. Of course, we are a little bit closer to the answers, to the responses, but I love the energy. Yeah, thank you very much for that. So now we are going to the next thing because as an analyst, as a data engineer, we are not just any of these things for name's sake. We are them for everything's sake, right? We think we are psychologists. We are everything people can think of, right? So let's get right into the next thing, which is the introduction of the speaker. And then we're going to have introduction of the speaker, and that will be done by one of our co-professionals. Yeah. So let's get right into it now. Okay. Introduction of the speaker. Now, the speaker is. Can anybody hear me? Can you hear me? Because, okay, 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 okay. Thank you for that. Thank you, thank you. Yeah. So now we have the speaker. Uh, excuse me. So we have the speaker is by name Uluwapelumi Arowosayi, and the business intelligence analyst at DB Brown Consulting with over 3 years of experience in building robust and analytic solution across industries such as oil and gas, financial institutions, constructions, and more. Pelumi is a Microsoft certified Fabric data engineer, Fabric analytic engineer, and Power BI data analyst, and has trained over 3,000 participants, including top management on Microsoft Fabric, SQL, Power BI, and advanced business tools and presentation skills. Beyond analytics, he is a passionate community leader, serving as co-lead of Microsoft Fabric Nigeria, co-organizer of Analytic Extra Mentorship Program and Analytic Corporate Workshop, provost of Pigeon Impact Academy, and director of programs at Cadway Educational Support Foundation. His work continues to empower professionals and organizations to leverage data for impactful decision. So, can I say a wonderful round of applause to our speaker? Please, let's all jointly give our speaker a wonderful round of applause to welcome him, please. Yeah, I can't say that enough. Okay. So we commence now, right? So thank you. Our speaker can have the floor now, sir.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Fatai, for that introduction. Kindly confirm if you can hear me clearly.
Can hear you perfectly, sir.
Okay, okay. All right, thank you very much. And good day, everyone, wherever you are joining us from. So I just want us to go to the charts. How are we doing today? How are we doing today? And happy new month to every one of us. So I just want to get some feedback in the chat. So this is going to be a non-interactive session. So I'm a facilitator by profession. So I train. So and I would always want to get feedback from us so that we are learning. Yeah, because when I'm talking, you also getting feedback from you. So I think doing well. Okay, thank you, Tim Lane. Doing well, good sir. Yeah, so let's keep dropping that. I think I just have few dressing here today. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, I think I have just few minutes for this session. So let's get into it. So I don't want us to be so anxious about the topic. The topic is something we would be able to look at together in the simplest term. So I just want to confirm if you can see my screen. You can confirm if you can see my screen, please. I may not be able to see the charts because my second screen developed fault. So maybe some emojis can be of help. They're about why I continue, or maybe some people can just unmute and give feedback. I think I already saw some reaction already.
I can see.
Okay, so let's. All right, all
Visible
right.
to
Thank you for the feedback. Okay, all right, thank you. Okay, so we want to look at how you can document projects on GitHub. Yeah. So as the speaker earlier said, when we talk about GitHub, I think I'm just going into a session properly. When we talk about GitHub, some people just know it as okay, just for some specific people. But this session is actually tailored to data professionals. As a Power BI developer, as a data analyst, how can you document your projects on GitHub? That is why we are here. Okay, I think we've talked about myself, so I don't need to go into it again. So let's just move on very quickly because of time. Okay, so why are we here? Why are we here? I think I've done that. I should have asked us. Yeah, but yeah, someone I already answered that. So let's just move on. Okay, so let's quickly look at what we'll be looking at. That is the learning points we'll be creating in this session. So the first one we'll be looking at is what is GitHub about, and then why is documentation important? Why is documentation important, and how your README should look at. I said README. How your README should look like. Yeah. So README is just like where you do your documentation. That is, you give detailed documentation on about your project on GitHub. So we'll still look at that when we get to the demo session. And then we look at the demo, and then I will share tips that can help you structure your documentation well. That is the, what can we put it, the shortcut that can help you. Maybe you want to bold, you want to do some different things on your documentation. I'm going to share that with us. And then if there are any question, you let me know at the end of the session. Okay, so let's go into it. So I want to just hear maybe it's from one person or two. When you hear the word GitHub, what comes to mind? Anybody? When you hear the word GitHub, what comes to mind?
I'm going. I'm
Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I
What do you
can
say?
hear you.
We
I
can
said,
hear
can
you,
we
sir.
speak?
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, I said, yeah, anyone can answer. Anyone can answer.
All right. So when I GitHub, I understand there's an online platform for developers or people that write code to post their work, like showcase their work. It can also serve as a portfolio for tech professionals where they host their work, and also people that do open source as well. Other people can go to them and project to
Okay.
developer platform.
Okay, thank you. But I struggle to hear you. I think I had that, okay, portfolio thereabout. Okay, thank you very much for that. Any other person?
Um,
Another
GitHub
person?
is a platform where people share their skill, knowledge of their skill, or what they know about our particular skill.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much for that. Also, Mr. Fatai. All right, so I think I've explained what GitHub is all about. So if you're going to go by the definition, then definition of general definition, to tell you that GitHub is a cloud-based platform where developers come to manage, store their code, collaborate on it, and the likes. Yes. So basically, we use it for version control, we use it for collaboration. But that doesn't mean that those of us that don't write code, we can't use it. Yeah, we can also make use of it. So as a data professional, one of the platform you can use to document your project is GitHub because it's very, very important. You after you are done with the project, you need to document it. So I'm not going to give us, yeah, we have basic knowledge. We are not really going in depth of, okay, what GitHub is. That's not why we are here. We are here to document how to document your project in GitHub. So let's move on. So yeah, I say documentation is the key and why. It is not enough for you to build that Power BI report, build your report in Power BI, build your report in Tableau, or whatever visualization tool you have used, and then you just put it outside there without documentation. Because how will I know the reason behind your report? How will I know the question your report is going to answer? Or what will I say? What was the drive you creating that report? Because every report you create, it's definitely going to address something. It's going to address something. So now let's look at, okay, why is documentation important in our journey? Why is documentation important? So the first one here, it says it makes your work understandable. That is, it makes people to understand your work very easily. So we are not talking about, we are not saying that, oh, your reports you share with us, you're not only impressing us. Yeah, we're not just interested in, oh, the visual is fine, the report is looking good, and the likes. We need to be able to understand from the very beginning. Yeah, because a project, you should have a business problem. There should be questions you want to give answers to. I should be able to read it and get a thorough understanding of whatever you are communicating. Let me put it that way. So that's the first thing. You want people to be able to understand your work. And then the second one is technical recruiters will take you serious when you document your project. So when you're applying for jobs, you don't just send out your Power BI report alone. When you send it with the documentation, with the detailed documentation, they will see your portfolio or whatever you've submitted, your application as an edge over others because you are going to share your thought process and they will definitely take you serious because technical recruiters will see it. They want to see your thought pattern. Okay, how you were able to address this. You know, some people can build reports. If you don't get to see the back end of it, you don't know what they would have put. Yes, I see a lot of people when they show Power BI reports, a lot of them try as much as possible to put a lot of things to bring out those reports. But what I can see only is just the visuals, maybe a screenshot of their report. But if you have a documentation where you share, technical recruiters will take you serious. And I mean technical recruiters, maybe the head of data in that particular organization. I'm not talking about HR here. HR are not technical recruiters, maybe the operational manager or the business intelligence manager. So when they see that you share your documentation, that you have you documented the project you shared with them, they will take you serious. And the next one is it helps when you document your project, it's turn it to portfolios. That is a proof of your skill. Yes, anybody can, yeah, create those reports. You can go on YouTube and the likes, but if I have documentation, then that shows a proof of your skill, that those things you've been able to do, those things you've been able to achieve, creating that report. And then the next one is when you have your documentation, it saves a lot of time. And what do I mean by this? So let's say, for example, you've done a project and you're able to document those things. Oh, the calculation you did, or the thought process, how you're able to address a particular thing. When you are faced with a situation in the nearest future, when you are faced with something close to it, or you want, maybe just want to do another project and there is a particular question you answered in your previous project, when you have that documentation, you don't have to worry yourself. You just go into your portfolio, you go into that documentation and you pick what you want, rather than trying to, sometimes when we create a report, sometimes we even forget maybe the DAX, how we created the DAX in the last previous in the previous project, and then we start, oh, how do I do that? Or you start asking AI. But if you have it documented, it saves you a lot of time and headache. So that is why you also need to take documentation very serious. And then the last one I have here is show professionalism. Yeah, when you document your project, I said earlier that recruiters will take you serious. So it shows professionalism. So that is why documentation as a data professional is very, very important. So let me just confirm if we are still following me. You can just type yes, yes in the chat if you are still following me, or just a thumbs up. Okay, I think I can see people. Okay, thank you for that. So that means I can move on. Okay, so how I said earlier that, okay, how should your README look like? So README on GitHub. So I'm going to still show us. README on GitHub is where you document everything. That is, oh, everything about your project. It's just like where I can just go and read everything about your project. So what are the things that should be in there? How do you document? Basically, how do you document your project? So the first one is you should be able to run us through an overview of the project, what you are trying to address, or who this report is for, or maybe it address an high level overview of the sales analysis of the organization, or for a particular business unit, or for a particular operation. So that's the first thing you need to address. And then the next one is you need to list out the business problem or questions you want your report to address. So they just like headers that you talk about, you deal with when you are documenting your project. And then the next one is your different data sources where your report is coming from. So you talk about your data sources, maybe you talk about your data modeling as well, how you broke down the tables, how you normalized your tables, how you connected those tables together, and the likes. So you need to share that thought process. So when you do that, they know that, oh, this person knows how to create this, not just following through your tutorials and the likes. So and then you can then showcase your calculations, maybe it was maybe your SQL syntax or your DAX calculation, or it may even be Excel. Maybe your function in Excel. You can show us and you can put it there and then just brief description. Okay, this is the reason why I created this. This is actually going to address this, and the likes to help you a lot. And then the next one, you can then share the business insight. That is what you were able to achieve from the project. Maybe you notice, oh, 5% of this was able to do this. You share that with us, because at the end of everything, people want to be able to make decisions with your report. And then the next one, you can tell us the tools and the skills that you demonstrated. Yeah, so what you learned, the tools you use, and the likes, or maybe you can even share maybe some little problem that you encountered, and then how you were able to address them. And then you can then give them to, okay, how can they use this report? Maybe you want to share a Power BI service link there about where you publish the report, where they can interact with the with your report. Just not just maybe not just reading documentation where you just want them to pick a particular slicer to see how the report is, just to make it interactive. And then the last one I have here is to show them a preview, that is just a screenshot of your dashboard or your report in that. So this is not a straight or rigid structure. You can always modify it, but this most times I follow when I document my project. Okay, so tips to structure your documentation well. So those are the things that you will need. So as I said, I have limited time. So but if you have better understanding regarding this, it will not be so stressful for you when you are documenting your project. So just looking at what I have here. So if you want to bold a particular word in your documentation, you just use two asterisk, same thing with italic. So I'm not going to run through. So you can just see them on my screen. I have them on my screen that can help you. Oh, you want to maybe leave a note, maybe an important thing. You can see you have to put your greater than sign, and then you write whatever you want to put in there. And then you want to hyperlink a particular thing to lead them to another platform or to another page. You can also do that, just as you can see on my screen. And we are going to look at all these things today. So hopefully our time will permit us. So I think it's time for us to go into action. So we don't just do talking. But I think it's very, very important for us to understand this, and then it will be easier when we get into the demo session. So I would just want to maybe entertain one or two questions, if there is any. If there is any question before I go into the demo session. Question. Okay, I will take that as a no. Okay, so I will just go into my GitHub. I'll go into my GitHub. So let me know if you can see my GitHub. So it's just for you to go to github.com. So I'm not going to take you through how to open the account. That's pretty straightforward. So just go to github.com, and then it will ask you if you have an account to log in, or if you want to register, take you through all those processes. So we don't have to go about it. So I'm just going to show you a project that I did on Power BI that I documented. So we're going to look at it, and that would guide us on. That's exactly the same project we would use for the demo. So I may not finish the demo aspect, but if I can guide you on what to, that's why I shared those tips to help you structure your documentation well. So I'm just going to run us through what I documented, and then you'll see how detailed the project is. So you can see these are all the images I used in the documentation. These are the images I used in documentation. So you can see I have the name of the report, says analysis report. And then as you can see, this is the report I created using Power BI, and then I documented it on GitHub. So you can see I have the reports page overview. That is what it's all about. The business question answered, that is the question I answered through the report I created. You can see my data preparation and data modeling. So I think this session is still tailored to those that are data analysts, those that use Power BI. So data preparation, I explained everything. The data sets used was a single flat file and the likes and all those things. So when you do all this, people that know that, oh, this person knows what he or she is doing. So you can see fat sales table, my dimensions table. So I documented everything, and then see where I created the relationships. So I created the relationship. So I explained why data modeling is important, why we need to model our data. So it's not just, okay, I model my data. You need to tell them no, so that they know that you know the concept of data modeling. And then I have my DAX here. So you can see the different DAX calculation I did. I broke them down into the anchor measures, the time intelligence, and also the variance. So I'm not teaching that. So those are the different measures we have on the DAX. And then I talked about my data visualization, that is the visuals on my report. I explained why I created them, and then the metrics the metrics or the insights from it. So I talked about my filters. That is the filters I use on the report, the year slicer, the month slicer, and then the key business insight that I was able to derive from the report. And you can see tools and skills demonstrated. And these are the things I use, and then things I was able to do. And then to interact with the report, click here. So if I click on this now, it's going to take me to the Power BI service that I published this report. And then you can see I thank them for reading. And then if you want to connect with me on LinkedIn or Twitter. So this is how, and then I did maybe just a second view of the report, just change the color basically of the report. So this is how I documented this project on GitHub. So, and I'm going to just show you how you can do that on GitHub. We're not going to finish that. So you really want to complete that yourself. Maybe you pick up a project you've done and then you document it. And if you have any question, you can always reach out to me on LinkedIn, on Twitter. Yeah, so I will drop that. You can always reach out to me, and then I will be much available to answer our question. So just to know any questions so far. So if you are following, just type yes, yes, yes in the chat. Yes, yes, yes in the chat. If we are still together, yes, 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 or you just thumbs up for me so I know that we are together. Okay. I think I can see a lot of thumbs up. Okay, yes. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's go into it. So before you start to document or come to GitHub, you see all these words that I have here. You need to have it somewhere. That is maybe in your notepad or your Microsoft Word. So when you are documenting on GitHub, it's very, very easy. So you are just copying and you paste, you copy and paste so that you're not wasting a lot of time on GitHub. So if I share where I have mine, where I documented it, just give me a moment. So you need to document every of the things you want to put in there. Just done where you, yeah, I think this is it. So you will see here. So this is where I put in everything I want to put on GitHub. You can see the sales analysis report, which is the title, the page overview, the business question. So if I'm going on GitHub, I'm just coming here, I copy, I paste, I copy, I paste, and then do the necessary things. Oh, if I want to put in an image, how do I do that on GitHub? If I want to bold something, how do I do that on GitHub? So you need to have them documented somewhere. So you are just copying, you are just pasting. So it's very easy for you to do that. Okay, so let me just move on very quickly. So if you have any question, you can always drop it in the chat. So I'll just pick it up from there. Okay, so this is my home page of my GitHub. So let's say I want to create, I want to document my projects now. So first thing, you need to create a repository. So a repository is where you can actually document your project. You need to create a repository. So, and how do I create a repository? Just looking at my screen, when you come to this plus sign, you see create new. So you have different options, but the option we are going for is new repository. So I'll select that. So we've started. So now it's asking, okay, what will be the repository name? So depending on what you want to document, you can put it as even the title of your report. So maybe I will say sales reports analysis. So you can see it's going to tell me your new repository will be created as this. So if the name is not available, it's going to let you know as well. So then you can put a brief description about the repository if you want. So I don't want to do that now. And then you can see, choose visibility. Choose visibility, that is, who do you want to see, who are those people you want to allow to see your repository, this particular repository. So you can see the default is public. You can always change it if it's not for the public. Maybe it's for your organization now, it's just for only your team. You can choose a private aspect. But this here is for everyone. So I'm just growing, I'm just building. So it's for public. And then the most important one here, if you remember during when I was sharing my slide, I talked about README. I don't know why README is coming to my mind, and I know it's that point. So README. So README is where you do the main documentation. So where I showed earlier, where I showed the preview of my dashboard and then the documentation where I did all those things, the business question and all those things, it is README. So if you want to have that as your how to document your projects, when you want to document your project, you need to turn this on so that when you create this repository, you will have it in there. So I'm going to click on that. So I'm going to on it, and that's just basically what I need to do. And then I'll create repository. I'll create a repository. So let's see. So now I have this. So you can see I have this, and it's now for me to start documenting my project. If you are still together, you can just give me a thumbs up so I know that people are still here with me. Okay, people are still following. All right, thank you very much for that. So now, if you look at my earlier project that I showed us, I had some images. I had some images that I uploaded that I used in my documentation. So you can upload that as well. So how do you upload your pictures? That is the images you'll be using. So you need to have done a screen grab or do a screenshot of those images on your laptop to store it somewhere so that you can pick it directly. So now how do you add those images? So you can decide, to make it, let's say, very detailed. You can create a folder for it if you decide. But based on this my project, I think I only have just images of my data modeling, my data modeling, basically, and the visuals. That's basically it. I didn't put my data set, the data set I used, I didn't put it there. I didn't even put my PBIX file, I didn't put it there. So if you want all those things, you can always create a folder by yourself, but I will not be going through that because of our time. So I want to just upload those files. So if I want to create a folder, I'm just going to go to this route, create a new file, and then to create folders for you. So I'm going to click on upload files, and then it's going to ask me to choose where I want to have those files. So if I go into my OneDrive, I think I have it here. I have it here, so under sales analysis. So you can see those pictures that I want to upload into it. So let's see, so I'm going to highlight everything. So I pick them at once. So it's currently uploading. So you can see the list of images that I uploaded. And then whenever you want to, when you want to do anything on GitHub, it will ask you to commit changes. So just like you saving, you save whatever you have so that it can be added to what you have earlier. So that's it. And then I just click on commit changes. So it's trying to process the files for me. So you can see now I have them under this. Please, are we together? Are we getting it, please? Yes. Are we getting it, please?
Yes, yeah. Yes, I am anyways.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. So So now, so the main thing of our documentation, you can see this README. So you have to come here to click on edit file. You have to come here and click on edit file. So yeah, so this is where the whole thing will start. So now, if you remember where I showed my slide, I said if you want, maybe I can go there so we can see. Let me see if I can share that. So maybe I just toggle between them. So I'm just going to share my slide again so we can see what I'm talking about. Okay, so it's this aspect here. So you can see those are this particular one will be the one guiding us on how we document our projects. So you can see the first hash is the main title, and that was the reason why we had it there earlier. So if you want like a subheader, subtitle, you use 2 hash, depending on the hashes you use. So if you, the higher you go, the lesser the word will be visible. So that is it. So I'm just going to go in there. So go back to my projects that I'm documenting. So this is my title. So I don't want this hyphen to be in front of it. So I can remove it. And as you are even doing it, you can always preview. You can always do a preview. So you can see this is what you will see. You can always do a preview of it. So if I go back to edit now, I would go back to where I am editing. So now just for you to just click enter wherever you want. And one of the tips I shared, if you want to have a page break, you can just put in a 3 dash, 1, 2, 3, just 3 dashes rather, and then you will have a page break that is just like a line drawing under it. So now I want to be able to have my, what do you call it? My the image of my report. I want to be able to have it in this at the beginning. So now, if you remember very well, can someone tell me how I can put in an image? What are the things I need to do to put in an image in my documentation? Anybody who can remember? Anybody can remember? Yeah, no. To put in an image inside the documentation is part. This I'm asking is part of the tips that I shared. If you can remember. So I want to know those that are following actually. Okay. Mr. Fatah, your hand is up. Do you want to say something? Anybody?
Yeah, I just
Let's
wanted to
just
say that they can
okay.
type it. I just want to say that you can type it.
Okay. Is it only me? I can't hear anything. I think it's from your side. Take a screenshot and paste it into the documentation. No, that's not what I said. So let me go back to my slide again so I can show us.
Thank you.
So that we can see. So you will see here that I don't know if you can see my slide. So you can see here to add image. So this is what you're going to do. You put an exclamation, a square bracket. You can just put any name of the image and then the link to the image. Then the link to the image. So let's try that very quickly so we can see. Let's try it so we can see. So if I come here, it says I'm going to put an exclamation sign, my square bracket. So I can decide to put maybe overview. So it doesn't matter. And then open my normal bracket and then paste the link to my paste the link of that image in here. So how do you get the link to the image? So let me show us how you can get that very quickly. Let me show us how you can get that very quickly. So so let's say this is the image I want to share now, that I want to pick the URL. We'll just need the URL of that image. I'm going to click on that URL. And I click on that URL, you can just copy it from here straight. So when you click on it, just copy the URL here, Control C, and then you go back to where you are editing, and then you paste it, and then you close your bracket. When you close your brackets, you have inserted the image. So if you do a preview, I expect it to load that image for me, just like you can see. So you just need to understand the way GitHub works. So you can see if I'm to upload an image, this is what I'm going to do. Just your exclamation sign, your square bracket. You can decide not to even put anything. It doesn't affect anything. You open your normal bracket and then you paste the link to that image in there. Do we understand, please? Do we understand, please?
I have a question, please. So do you mean that the images you uploaded from your system to that other session, is that what it is? And then you come here and then paste it?
Yeah, so after you uploading, so this is where I uploaded those images. So let me go back. So if I'm going to show you here now. So you can see this is where I have the images. I already uploaded them to GitHub. So just for me to get the URL of that image in GitHub.
How did you upload
Do you
it to
understand?
GitHub? How did
Oh,
you
do you
upload
just
it?
join the session? I think we've
No,
talked
I was
about
there,
that.
but I missed it, and I thought like we'll probably
Okay.
go through it. Just like
Okay.
because I
So
didn't see your
let me just do
cursor
that.
moving during that period, so that's why I was a bit confused.
Okay. Can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Okay. So for you to be able to upload your images, so you click on this plus sign. When you click on this plus sign, you see upload files. Can you see that? So when you click on that, it's going to ask you to choose where you want to upload it, choose your files, and it's going to direct you to your PC, either on your OneDrive or on your laptop that you want to pick the images where you have it already. So just for you to select it and then it will bring it up for you. So
All
that's
right,
how you
thank you.
upload. So when you do that, it will be on GitHub for you. Okay, so let's move on. And
Wait, sorry.
that,
Is it that
okay.
we have already have the screenshot of the image down already before going
Exactly,
to GitHub?
exactly. You need to have a screenshot of the images you want to use in your documentation. You do a screenshot of it, maybe your Power BI report or whatever image you want to use in your documentation. So you have to have a screenshot
Okay.
of it on your laptop. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So and then what is the next thing on my I want to do? I think the next thing should be the business
Sorry, I'm
question.
confusing the screenshot and the upload image issue. It's more like
What do you
confusing.
say? I can't hear you.
Sorry. Oh, if you have a question, can you just let him finish, then you can ask your question, so that you're not just
Okay.
going to be
So
blank.
I think my time is won't fast spent, but I'm going to explain very quickly. So now the next thing, so you are just going, you are just clicking enter and then to go to the next line. So I want to have a business question that I want to answer. I want to have a business question I want to answer. So I can give it 2 hashes because it should the font should be lesser than my main title. So I can have it here, business questions. So I can do a preview of it. If I do a preview of it, I will see business questions. So if you want to have it to be bold, thereabout, if you want to have it to be bold, you can put it there, your 2 asterisk in the front and 2 asterisk in the back. If you want it to be bold and italics, so after you're putting your 2 asterisk, so you put in this your dash under it, in front of it, and also at the back in front of it. So if I preview this now, I expect that my business question to be bold and also to be in italics. So you can see that is slant, that is italics, and it is in bold. So different things you can always do to it. So I'm going to remove the italics from it, and then I'm just going to pick the business question I want to
You're only
answer.
seeing your main page. Whatever you're doing now is not showing.
What is not showing? This is my main page. I'm on GitHub.
Yeah, like the steps you're talking about, the hashtag and how you're putting it in is not showing. Now we can see.
Sorry. You can see it now. So apologies for that. Okay, so let me just redo that. So I said I want to have the business question as the second thing there. So depending on how you want to structure your own documentation, depending on how you want to structure it. So the business question title should the font should be lesser than my main title. So if I type in business question, so I can do a preview of it, and then I will see it here. I'll see it there. And then if you want to make it bold, you want to italicize it, you can do all those things. So to bold it, I will just put in my 2 asterisk in front of it, and then also 2 asterisk at the back of it. So if I want to, this is bold. If I want to italicize it, I will just put my underscore at the back and also at the front. So that will bold it and also italicize it. I can, as you are doing it, you can always do a preview. So you can see you have the edit option and also have the preview option. So if I click on preview now, I will be able to see the business question I've put in there. So you can see business question. You can see it is bold and also italicized. That is, it is slant. Yeah. So and then you can always move on. So the business question, I already copied it. So I'm going to remove the italicized aspect of it. I just want to bold it. So now the business question, I already copied it. So I'm going to paste it here. And then this is it. These are the business question I want this to answer. So I have them listed here. So if you want it to be in bullet point, that is, you want them to be in bullet point, as we always do in Microsoft Word, you have all those bullet points in front of it. You can always do that as well. So how do you show your bullet point? I also shared it in my slide. So what you just need to do, just put your hyphen in front of it and then put a space in between. You come into this other one, put hyphen, space. Come to the other one, put hyphen, space. You come to the other one, put hyphen, space. You come to the other one, you put hyphen, space. You come to the other one, you put hyphen, space. And then the last one, you put hyphen, space. So if you don't want bullets, if you want number, what you just need to do, you put your 1, your full stop, space, 2, full stop, space, 3, full stop, space, and then that will give you the numbering aspect. That's the number list. So I can do a preview of this that I've done. I preview it, I should be able to see it. So you can just see that I have it here. Bullet points this way. So, and that is how you then go about documenting everything you have. So it's just the same process. You want to do any other thing, you want to have maybe your data preparation, your data modeling, you then go on with it. You go on with it. So the next thing I'm going to show us before, because my time is fast spent, I have another engagement, apologies for that, is if you look at the report I showed earlier, that's my own. So I'm showing it now. You'll see, so just the same process how I uploaded the first image, you can also do for all these facts, sales, and the likes. And then you will see here that I put a note here that kindly note that the calendar table was created using DAX in Power BI desktop. The DAX measures used are documented under the DAX section. So this is just like a note that you want your whoever that is reading this to be able to be aware of. How do you do this in GitHub? For you to show, you see that it is different from my main documentation. It's different from my main documentation. That shows that, okay, you want them to notice something. So how do you do that in GitHub here? So I go back to where I'm documenting. So let's say I just want to have a note. So what you need to first write is your greater than sign. So your greater than sign is where you will put that note. That's greater than sign will be want to help you convert it to a note. So let's just say I want to put, okay, kindly note that this is important. So if I can decide to bold the word so that they know that this is very, very important. So if I want to preview this now, you can have your word so long and likes. I'm just going to click on preview, and then you will see that this will be different from your main documentation. So you can see here, kindly note that this is important. You can see here that it's different, and people scrolling through your documentation, they will see that, oh, this person wants us to take note of this particular thing. And that is how you do your documentation. So this way I will draw my curtain here. So as I said earlier, I will not be able to document everything, but I've just given us guideline. So I can share the slide, that is the major one that we even need there, is those tips that can help you. Or how do you upload an image? How do you do this? How do you do that? Those things that can actually help you to do that. I will share it with Mr. Fatai so that we can share it with anyone. So I apologize for not staying true to the end because I have another engagement now. So any question before I go? Maybe Mr. Fatai, you can take it up from here.
Okay, thank you very, very much. That is a very wonderful session. Please, can we react to appreciate our speaker? Can we see some emojis to appreciate our speakers? Yeah, can we, let's keep it coming, let's keep it coming. Oh my God, just two people. Wow, just two. Doesn't mean it's just two people that love this session. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you, Esther. Thank you, Lord and everyone. Thank you, Ajibola. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, good one. Thank you, Bulu. Yeah, thank you very much for joining this session. Yeah, thank you to our presenter. Thank you very much. God bless you, sir. So, moving on, because the time has been fast spent, and then the goal is not to use more than required time. So, yeah, can anybody confirm if you can see my screen? So, yeah, because we might not be able to take question. Our speaker has another thing he wants to do right now. So, can we just, if you have any question, you can actually direct it to my DM, and then we can actually forward it to the speaker, or you can connect with him on LinkedIn as well. His LinkedIn is always free. Is a professional that is genius and genuine, so he's always ready to help in his possible best way. Yeah, thank you very much once again, sir, Mr. Aru. Thank you, sir. So now, yep. So we move on to the next thing on the agenda. Yeah, so yeah, can we confirm if you can see my screen? Okay, thank you. Yeah, so
Sorry, Mr. Fatai, can I leave the call now?
yeah, thank you very much, sir. Thank you, sir. Because
Right.
we don't want to hold you any longer because you've tried for us. God bless you, sir.
Thank you. Welcome. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Okay, so can we confirm if you can see my screen, please? Can anybody see my screen? Okay, awesome. Good. So we move on to the next thing on the agenda. Yeah, and that's where they at. So that's the next thing we have on the agenda, where they at. So what does this mean by where they at? It means that we want everyone here, right here, to actually put into practice what you've learned. right? You've learned how to create a GitHub header. You've learned how to document. You've learned what are the sections you're meant to have in a well-structured GitHub portfolio. So we want everyone here, if not 100%, of course, that's also achievable. We want everyone here to practice what we've learned here within a span of just 3 days, a span of 3 to 5 days. So we want to see everyone practice it. So whenever you have practiced it, just post it on your LinkedIn, post it on your Twitter, post it on your any social media you have. Then you tag us. Then we'll have a gift for whoever actually practice that by God's grace. So then we move on to that next thing. So the question we actually, because of the time of our facilitator, because of the time, so he might not be able to answer it. But in case we have a question, we can still drop it. We can drop our question and then we'll forward it to our lecturer. So in case we have a question, we can still do it. Yeah. So the next thing is picture section. So please do a picture of everyone on call. I want you to permit me to do that right now before we move, before we leave. You don't necessarily have to so just some few seconds so I can do that. So few seconds and then we're done. Okay, ready, and then that's it. Thank you for joining. So the purpose of this is none other than for us to have our LinkedIn profile, for us to post on LinkedIn, and then we tag our facilitator and appreciate every one of us as well. So thank you and for joining. So can we confirm if I see my screen so I can continue? Yeah, I know we had a promise earlier, and that promise is giving response to what we to our icebreaker session. Yeah, our icebreaker session. Oops, that's not true. So our icebreaker session. So we give response to our icebreaker session. So before we move on to the closing remark, I have a response to the icebreaker session. Can you see my screen, please? Can you come to my screen? Hello. I don't know. Can you hear me, please? Can anybody hear me? Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for that. Okay, so have response. We gave a question earlier. One is we asked people about some Excel functions, right? And then so we have answers, we have response to that. The first one was a case study on, okay, let me just show it on the screen right here. So let me just show it on the screen. Yeah. So now the first question was a client who sent you a CSV file, and then it's ours, Adam Smith and Jane Doe, like all this name like this. I believe everyone can see this, right? So it has all of this. So, and then we asked that, okay, as a professional, how do you correct this? So I saw some wonderful responses earlier, and yes, that's correct. Those who said we can use proper, you're correct, and then that's for normalization. Those who said we can, but there's something nobody said, right? That we can actually use as well. How about using upper and lower syntax? How about using that upper and lower? Like I mean, you upper for seeing the first name of the names. So, and then you're going to use lower to give it if it's a lowercase. That's, but basically the correct one is I'm using proper. That's equal to proper. That's I don't have to start typing that, so we know how to do that. So now the second one, because of time, is the scenario where we said that we're trying to match two tables by email address, and then you notice that it's somehow look alike in both. Then the computer tells you that they don't match. So what could have been the challenge of this? So but the challenge is nobody got the answer. And then we use what I think we can use is we can use the team to use the team function. That's what do we want to use team for? So let's see. We can actually have this. Actually have this. So we can actually use this to trim the email into a correct format, right? So that's just it. I believe we're good. So that's what we have there. Okay, yeah, the last one, which is the currency one, where we said, I think someone got it. The person said we're going to change the USD to dollar. That's a wonderful one. Can you remember? Can you remind me of who was the person who said that? That said we're going to change the USD to dollar. Someone said that. I could not remember who. Okay, so yeah, that's just it. So, yep, we have that. So, yeah, so thank you. And then we have the closing remark, and that is going to be done by our CEO. Yeah, I don't know if he's currently in the meeting. Okay, I don't think he's currently in the meeting. So, yeah. So thank you very much for joining us. Want to use this medium to appreciate every one of us for joining this session. We want to say thank you for joining. I think we have a lot of people on the call. So thank you once again, Mr. Ibrahim. Thank you, Miss Mubaraka. Thank you, Mr. Ridwan. Thank you, and everyone who are present in this meeting. So thank you very, very much. We really appreciate that. So yeah, and then we'll come to the end of this session. So how many of us enjoyed this program? Like you actually literally enjoyed it? Can you show a love emoji to indicate that you enjoyed it? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So please don't forget the last thing. You can actually follow us on our social media, on our LinkedIn as the Spring Pilots, on YouTube as the Spring Pilots, on our Instagram page and our X page as well. Yes, on YouTube we have a lot of things we normally dish out on YouTube. So please follow us on YouTube, and then you're going to learn a lot. So this is just the beginning. We still have a lot of things to keep giving us and to keep dishing out. So we want to say thank you very much for coming. Thank you all, and thank you for joining us. So that will be the end of the program. Do enjoy your nights, everyone. Yeah, so thank you. Yeah, some of us are still here, so thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. So see you next time. Bye. Don't forget, in case you have a question, you can still reach out to me, or you can reach out to him on LinkedIn. So whichever one, you're good to go. So thank you very much once again.